Hey, hi, ho, hey, it's DEADONDAVE. Look, check it out. I'm very sweaty, I'm very hot, but the reality is, I'm not missing out on cashing in on this Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather fight. Everybody else is cashing in, so I'm here right now. Quick thoughts with me and Nixie. I think Fake Ass Twat's here as well. Nixie, say hi.
Hi.
Fake, say nothing. You stay put. All right. We're going to be doing a full live review tomorrow. Little okey doke here. Full live review, reaction, all that whole thing. We're going to take calls, questions, comments, concerns, hopes, dreams, quips, quotes, likes, loves, and whatever else you might feel about Logan, Floyd, Jake, anyone else involved, or anything else that's happened or will happen between this moment and tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until then, let's play with your assorted genitalia parts for a moment and give you our quick thoughts, since they're already kind of out there anyway. Nixie, you and I went live in the Discord yesterday, did a little bit of a dry run at what we're going to be bringing to YouTube. What did you think of the fight last night? It was a lot of build-up. Did it live up to expectations?
Oh, you know what? Everyone I've spoken to, everything, you know, it didn't. It was great for like 4 rounds.
4 rounds,
and then
yeah.
4 rounds, and then it just went. Literally.
It was hard to watch because there was a lot of excitement. First things first, credit to everyone involved. They got it done. They got the fight there. They got people excited enough to watch it. I was in a room with 12 people that, there was a lot of people up in there at one point, and not all of them are big fight fans, but they were involved with the whole experience, and that was just cool. Whether it was because they wanted to hear us talk about it or they wanted to actually watch it, it was a cool thing to just be a part of, and I got to give them credit for pulling that off. Everything else, though, after the 4th round especially, it became very, very apparent something was up. Now, I saw a video today that irritated me a little bit more.
Oh, God.
Floyd may have knocked him out in the fight.
What do you mean?
There's a real convincing video, man. It shows. So at one point, it was in the 5th round, I think. Floyd hits him with a right, hits him hard, and he wobbles into him, and then he kind of almost wrestles him for a moment. There's an angle of it, and you can find this. If I was better at my job, I'd already have it queued up. There's an angle of it where it shows Logan looks like he's out, and Floyd is full on holding him, and as he's wrestling him, he's like shaking him back awake. It's fucking weird, because remember, that was the moment where they wrestled him to the ground almost. He hit him, and then it looks like he catches him and shakes him back fucking awake. It's unbelievable. Now, that's probably far-fetched, and I'm not saying that I'm subscribing to that theory. However, what if? I mean, my God. Because that's the only thing that makes sense to me, that Floyd carried him and Floyd was doing something purposely here, because there was no reason in the world why he couldn't have knocked that man out about 17 times. Nixie?
It does. He looks like he's proper carrying him. His whole stance shifts to actually scoop him back up. Like, you can actually see his hands move to catch him. Like, yeah, I mean, I think the tweet that I'm seeing is just a GIF, so it stops before you see him shake him, like you said. But I think that you can definitely see that that's what's happened. By the way, nice hat change.
Oh, thank you. Right, yeah, you know, sometimes the copious hats they magically change. Don't question it's the magic of TV. But yeah, there's no question. There's something that happened there in my mind. I'm like, I watched it so many times. I just played it on repeat, because I was looking for anything. And the way his head was moving, now, of course, it's hard to tell because it's in slow-mo and everything's so exaggerated. I got to go and really try to cross-reference it in real time. But I do remember us talking about it happening. As we're seeing him wobbled, it looked like that was it. It really, really did. And it turns out it might have been. So let me ask you.
Because in that round, he was literally just hanging on the ropes.
Right.
At so many points as well. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, if that is what it turned out to be. Now, it's a reverse dive, I guess. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what you would call it, but there is something that's not right about it.
Yeah.
But because we're already kind of accepting at this point that parts of this is staged, do we care? How do we feel about this?
I mean, to me, I think that it makes me care, because it's either if Logan Paul wants to be taken seriously as an athlete, then he shouldn't be in a staged situation. He should have had a proper fight with this guy. The point should have been on. Like, if he wanted to be taken seriously as an athlete, the point should have been on, should have been judged. It should have been all above board.
There's your problem. There's your whole problem. You're assuming he wants to be taken seriously as an athlete. I don't think he does. I don't think he can. Motherfucker walked out to the ring wearing a Charizard. I guarantee he sat in a room with douchebags like, what's the fucking most asshole thing that I can do? Wear that fucking Charizard, Logan. Wear that Charizard. And he did. He doesn't care about being taken seriously as a fucking fighter. And you know why I know that? Because he stepped in the fucking ring with Floyd Mayweather when he had no business to it. If he had any respect for the fight game at all, like as an actual fighter, this isn't a case of a lifelong fighter who's going in there against his idol or something. No. This is a dude who's taking a bag of money to fight the biggest name, the only fucking name that matters. It has nothing to do with athletic integrity or anything real. This is about as real as fucking WrestleMania. That's where I'm starting to go with it. Am I saying that's necessarily bad, though? Not so much.
I don't know. I mean, if the business is dying, they're going to do whatever the fuck they can to get some cash. They're going to do whatever they can to get young people involved in it again.
They're gonna rape the business as fucking hard as they can. And I do have a problem with that. I do have a problem with. But it's Floyd. It's not a young, in their prime boxer. It's not someone who matters. Not saying that Floyd doesn't matter, but he doesn't matter in the rankings. He doesn't matter in the title chase. He doesn't matter in any of those things. He's retired. He's fighting exhibitions. He's doing it for entertainment purposes. And most importantly, if you listened last night, he's telling us. With all those things in mind, I don't know how much I care. Now, if this turns into Tyron Woodley taking an obvious dive, which there's already rumors of. If this turns into a young, like there's rumors of Canelo Alvarez wanting to get involved with this shit now. Things like that. That is what we really have to worry about. Is it a slippery slope argument? Absolutely. But I don't know if last night inherently on its own does irreparable damage. Even if it turns out that he caught him from fucking going night-night.
The thing is, to me, though, is that it was probably if it is that he doesn't want to be taken seriously, he's just there for the memes. He's there for the lol. He's there to be a fucking troll. Yeah. It would have been even more important that Floyd knocked him out. Yeah, because
unless Floyd
that would have been defend the sport, defend your passion.
Floyd's
and if he's let this guy come in. Yeah, but if he's let this guy come in and just be like, your whole career, it's a fucking joke. I mean, that's even more reason why he needed to have knocked him out.
I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But but I think you're looking at it from the wrong perspective, because you're looking at it from like Floyd's an active in his prime, really still defending the sport. He's not. He's not that guy. He travels to Japan.
But he must have his pride.
No. Pride? He can't fucking read, and he's been to prison for being a woman. What fucking pride does this man have? What pride?
The only pride this man can have in his life is the 50 nil fucking streak that he had.
Nixie, if you can't spell it, you can't have it. I'm sorry. No. I think that he's telling us that this is entertainment. I think it was more easy to look past it when it was Conor McGregor. We're letting biases get to us now because it's Logan fucking Paul. But is it any different? Is it really that much different? I don't know. Obviously, Conor's a much more accomplished fighter, but he had no business in the ring with Floyd fucking Mayweather. None. And he could have gotten 2-3 years ago when that fight happened, Floyd could have put him out in the first or second round. And that's my last point I want to make on this. We're making all these different things, and obviously with the thing Floyd, possibly catching him, that's the most smoking gun. But what if the simple fact of the matter, and this is the scariest one of all, and maybe not so much, what if Floyd simply couldn't knock him out? What if the age and the size difference was too much? Maybe that didn't happen in the gift the way we saw it. Maybe it just looked that way because of slow-mo. Maybe Logan wasn't that close to being put out. Maybe Floyd simply couldn't.
Well, I personally don't feel that way, but you know what? I'd like to hear from people tomorrow when we go live. Oh. I want people to call in. I want people to want people to tell us what they think.
Nixie's getting good at this.
Because I think we need to have more. We need to have more opinion on this because I feel like Floyd was in control the whole time. His eye contact was in control the entire time. So
at times it looked like he was teaching him how to fight.
It looked like a training match. It looked like an older guy getting in the ring with a younger lad and going, right, we're gonna spar. We're gonna just.
But we gotta remember, it was an exhibition, an 8-round exhibition. We gotta remember these words do matter in context because they're telling us it's fraud. They're not using the word fraud. They're using exhibition. They're using drama. They're using different words, but it is the same word. It's not what it appears to be, and I think most of us. Wink and a smile type, wrestling-minded type people, I think we accept it a little bit easier. But I get where you're coming from because you are way more of a fighter than I ever was. I trained in different stuff, but you really, really, really went. So I get where you're coming from.
So for me, that the idea of this being for anything other than like Floyd actually defending his pride and defending his fucking, that to me, I can't imagine that.
I can't have it if you can't spell it.
But then, if they wanted to bring drama into the fucking sport, who better to bring in than the fucking Paul brothers? Because let's face it, that is what they created their entire empire on YouTube, from.
Final opinion. I'm going to open this to everybody who is sitting here because we're live recording in front of a studio audience because we're going old school with it. It was good for the 70s, 80s, and goddamn it, it's good enough for us. So I want everyone's opinion. If you want to sound off, now's your opportunity. Ultimately, last night, and we'll start with Nixie, and we'll go from there. Actually, we'll end with Nixie. We'll start with anybody else. You'll have 5 seconds to answer, then we move the hell on. Does last night ultimately prove good or bad for boxing and for Floyd Mayweather's legacy? They decided not to answer. They could have told me they weren't going to answer, so we didn't have that in the air. Nixie, take us home.
I think that from a fighter's perspective, I'm disappointed that anyone would let their legacy be held so fragilely like that. Like, to me, that's it's not fun because this is someone who they were making fun of, saying he wasn't gonna get anywhere, and then they've literally just gone, actually, you know what, he just survived 8 rounds. But did he, or was it all fucking staged? Because I'm telling you, it looks like he caught him. He went none-night. I believe it. Exhibition, baby. Look, I mean, exhibition. This isn't Rocky IV, where Apollo dies in an exhibition. Remember when the fucking bald coach of Apollo, this is supposed to be an exhibition. And what's really great about that fucking scene is if you watch it, there's about 9 gallons of spit that fucking project out of that man's mouth. It's fantastic. And that's what we'll leave you with. Longer video than I was expecting. Tell us what you think of the new format. Tell us what you think of the new vibe. We'll be live tomorrow, Tuesday, whatever, June the 8th that it will be, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Me, Nixie, you, all of us, copious together. Keep it copious. And remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have those talented friends like Nixie to the Nax. We out.